Yesterday, during the matchday ticket full-time show, we sadly learned of the passing of ex-Ipswich Town manager John Duncan. John Duncan was, of course, manager between 1987 and 1990. Our thoughts, our prayers, our wishes are with the John Duncan family, but he was before my time. So I'm going to hand over to somebody who remembers the time fondly and well. Of course, that is our resident cruncher. Over to you, Crunch, because it's before my time.
Martin. Yeah, look, sad day yesterday. John Duncan, 73. When you think of it, Martin, that's no age really. I know he'd been ill for a little while. That broke a couple of weeks ago. So I started going to town obviously in 84, and then Bobby Ferguson was in charge. So when Bobby went, John Duncan come in 1987, and it was a tough time. I've got the stats here. He When you look at it, like the win record, 161 games, Martin, 73 wins, 29 draws, 59 defeats. So on the face of it, that's not too bad. And I think we finished 8th and 9th over his 3 seasons. And look, disappointing that we didn't make the playoffs because we had under Bobby Ferguson and then obviously he went. But it was a tough time for the club, Martin. You know, the team had broken up under Bobby Robson and then, as I say, Bobby Ferguson. And we didn't have a lot of money at that time. But
no.
you only have to look at after John Duncan went, the team under John Lyle. Look how many players in that side played under John Duncan. You know, you got your Craig Forrest, Frank Yallop, David Linigan, the captain, Simon Milton, obviously he was there, Kiwomya, Dizelle, lots of them, you know. So it was a really tough time. Obviously, I was talking to Matt this morning. We all remember the first Russian to play in England, you know, Sergei Balthacher. He came under John Duncan, and look, there were some good times. I remember the 4-0 game when we beat Middlesbrough. Obviously, late Dalian Atkinson, God rest his soul, scored a hat-trick that day. And there's always that picture. I don't know if people remember it, of when Dalian's going off the pitch, John Duncan handing him the ball. And look, it's just a real sad loss for the club. You've only got to look, Martin, at I think the first, it was on the League Managers Association. They broke the news, but Sir Alex Ferguson, he was the first manager to put comments out there. He remembered when he played in Scotland. I know Colin remembers him, John Duncan, when he played for Spurs. You know, and look, it's just a real sad
footballing loss. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a loss for the football club, but for the football family. Look, just best wishes to his partner. I know he's got children, and wasn't it nice yesterday? You know, that we could dedicate this win. You know, 3 points for Town, dedicate it to John Duncan, and may he rest in peace. You know, it's a real sad time, and just hope his family's okay. And look, he was a good man. Obviously, managed Chesterfield as well twice. He come from Chesterfield to Town, and then he actually taught at Hadley High School, Martin.
Yes, I read that this morning.
Yeah, he was there. And then obviously everyone probably remembers him when he was at Chesterfield, the semi-final, when they drew 3-3 with Middlesbrough. They should have won. Look, yeah, they had good players in that team. They had Sean Dyche was playing, Kevin Davis. So, look, it's a loss for football. It's a loss for Ipswich Town, but someone's lost a father, you know, and it's just really sad times. And just best wishes to his family from me, obviously from you and everyone at Talking Town.
Absolutely. Well said. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday flagship podcast. I am, of course, your host, the Gov. This is the Crunch, and we are joined by one other in just a moment, here to discuss, break down, reflect, react to yesterday's uphill struggle, but ultimately 3 more points in the bank, a 2-1 victory over Morecambe. Morecambe obviously will feel aggrieved. We may have got one of those refereeing decisions back again. We are still owed probably 1 or 2 more, you would probably argue at home, and I would agree, absolutely agree with you. But we perhaps got away with that one. We'll break that one down. We'll see who our player of the match was, or man of the match. I prefer man of the match, but I'm starting to say player of the match. It's very much an American thing, I think, Crunch. But
what I heard on the Morecambe commentary.
I know you did. I know you did.
Mr. Lambert from Talking Town.
Look at that, though. You see, I'm infiltrating the media. It's slowly just slowly eating away at the media.
Oh.
No, good. Big up, Dave. Thanks for that shout out for myself, but also for the platform. The platform that is for the fans. One club, one community, one Ipswich Town. We allow you all to have your say unfiltered. There's no boundaries here. It's just your opinion. Own it. Say it how you like. The person joining us certainly doesn't need an invitation for that. But before I bring him in, how are you feeling sitting here? Not quite 24 hours on, but
look, I think you have to be happy, Martin, because I think maybe we underestimate these teams. I see a tweet from Vicky put out about sometimes
tweet.
When the easiest games are actually the hardest, because I think I've done a poll yesterday on Twitter, Martin. I think there was 96% said a Town win. There was hardly anyone out there who thought Morecambe would even get a draw. So credit to them, the way that they sort of they got stuck into us. I know what Ripley, the goalkeeper, said, and look, they did get stuck in, and they obviously there was a bit of a naughty one on Chaplin. But I think in the end, I was talking to Kevin Keats this morning on the Discord, and he's probably right what he said, that they probably run out of legs a little bit there, Martin, and they only named 5 subs because they've got 8 players out injured. So
old school.
Yeah, it is. Well, we used to have 1 sub. Back in the day, it was 1 sub. Colin will remember
when I was a boy.
It was job done. It wasn't pretty at times, but like when we get to May, when the trophies are handed out, and hopefully we'll be parading one round Portman Road, not the second place, because I don't believe teams who come runners up should get a trophy, which they do now, Martin, which is nonsense.
Do they?
Yeah, second place get a trophy. Yeah,
that's.
But we won't be looking back at Morecambe at the start of October. It's a game that won't really live long in the memory, because it wasn't a great game. It wasn't a great performance from Town, but we've done enough to get the job done. That second half, when we needed to step it up, it was interesting when Kieran said the best thing in the first half was the dressing room at half time. Now, we all see him as a mild-mannered, he's very articulate. I wouldn't be surprised if the hairdryer was turned up just a little bit in that dressing room, and he might come across as nice, Martin, but I still think he's got that edge. When someone needs to get a bit of a dressing down, I'm sure that he can do it. Or maybe Martin Pert. I don't know.
Oh, Martin Pert, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. But they come out the dressing room that second half, and you've said it before, a lot of times second half, we start so slow, don't we?
We do, but we didn't know.
We came out like an absolute steam train.
We did.
And they couldn't handle us. We probably played well for 20, 25 minutes, and it was enough to get the win. They had a few corners sort of towards the end. I think Stockton had one where he poked it wide. I think they were a little bit unlucky with Dylan Connolly's goal, Martin.
Unlucky? Like, he's so far on side, he might as well be his own half.
So there you go. Like you say, it's them ones that they evens themselves out over the season. Caden Jackson's penalty, was it a penalty, the second penalty?
Well, possibly I don't think it was. But as I said to Dave, the Morecambe commentator this morning, I said, we are owed a couple of decisions going into the game anyway. But equally, there was one in the first half on Tyrese John Jules where if it ain't a penalty, I don't know what football is anymore.
I thought he lost his balance. I didn't think that was a penalty.
He got body checked, completely body checked.
Listen, we got 2 penalties. That's why my title is like London Buses. We didn't have one for 36 games, and then we get 2.
2.
So
2 in one game.
We missed one. There we go.
100% penalty, says Kevin Keats. You mentioned the Discord. You can become a member of the Discord by becoming a member of Talking Town. Hit the join button on YouTube or head to our Ko-Fi platform and sign up to $4.99 a month and get access to this man's mind 24/7. All right, I didn't say that very well. I didn't say that very well. I know. I don't know why I said that, because that just made people turn off. I do not know. But you could join the conversation 24/7.
Anyway, big shout out, Moulton Panthers. Prediction league.
What's the score?
4-2. Moulton Panthers.
Going up. Love it. Well done, Matt. Right. Womble says, sorry, Gov. Did we ever get an answer on the number of rolls Mr. Plum took? He has kept Womble up all night. We don't want to do that, Womble. We don't want to do that. So we'll let Colin answer in the chat. Dave, the legend that is Dave, says, I agree with Gov. It was a penalty. Of course you do, Dave, because you've got, got brains in your head. Callie says, Martin, how much did you pay the Morecambe comms? Kept shouting you out. I didn't pay him nothing, Callie. It's just being good at what I do. Right, on with that. Hey, I'm sitting here, mate. I'm starting to learn from yourself. You see, if you don't have an ego about you, then what have you got? So look at him jump back on his seat.
We've got an ego. You have to have a bit of an ego when you put your opinion out there and you get everyone pick it apart. You have to have a little bit.
That's why
this man coming. Has he got an ego?
Has he got an ego? I can't even find his intro. Has he got an ego? Of course, he's got an ego. The ego the size of the Orwell, I think, as Colin would call him. He'll have you on strings. The fisherman, Mike Brown.
I've already said, and I've said on Twitter and whatever.
From Twitter to platform to Twitter, it's, of course, Mike the fisherman. How are you, Mike?
Yeah, good. I ain't long come back. I've been down in Lake this morning, sorting some stuff out down there, and just come back there. I literally got back here at 1:25.
Love it. I love also the freebie you've clearly given yourself behind your left shoulder.
What's that? Oh,
he's
Chinese calendar.
Always
get a freebie. Hey, people don't realise.
The main thing that everyone wants to know, you work at the Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
On the menu, what is 442?
Unfortunately, it's not on there.
Oh, damn.
Well, we haven't got 442. We only got to about 270, 265, I think it is. That's the highest number we go.
What is four?
Duck spring rolls.
Oh, I like those. What is two?
Number 2.
352. That's your favourite formation.
Christmas tree.
No, I couldn't tell you what number 2 is. I don't. They tell me what's on there, and I just tell them what I give them. I give them what they want. I give the customers what they want.
Well, hopefully you're going to give us what we want, and that is the opinion on that first half penalty decision. I say it was. The people in the chat say it was because they're screwed on.
No,
what do you say?
I'm with Richard. I just think he lost his balance.
It means
I'll be honest. I think he went over too easy. It weren't a penalty. Look, I'm the first one to be critical when it comes to certain decisions and stuff like that. It wasn't a penalty, no. I didn't think it was.
No?
What? I thought the ref was good.
I got no fear of that, have I, really? Did you see Morsley's shot yesterday? No, you're right.
Well, yes, it was. Lee Evans is now... Is he now got more goals than Sam Morsey?
3. He's got 3 now.
And Morsey's got what?
2.
It's not a good look, is it?
I got no fear about it. Mankini's safe, I'm telling you.
Don't worry.
I said it at the start and I'll stand by it.
If they get 10 between them, we'll be happy.
Oh, God, yeah, that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Good.
All right, so that's that done. How was your thoughts overall about yesterday's uphill battle against Morecambe, a 2-1 victory? And then we'll go into individual players. I know I'm going to bring one up that you absolutely gave pelters to in the first half on Twitter. I'll come to him shortly. But first of all, your overall thoughts as you sit here on a Sunday morning, Mike.
Look, it was a hard-fought win, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll go into more the game and the performance and everything. But look, we all get carried away for the game. Yeah, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, and all that. We all do. Let's be honest. It's just part of being a football supporter. The reality was, I said to Colin, I spoke to Colin this morning. I said, we both agreed. Look, going to Morecambe can be a lot harder than going to somewhere, say, like Sheffield Wednesday or Portsmouth or Plymouth, because they're fighting for their lives. They're fighting to stay in this league, and they've got 8 players out, haven't they? Something silly like that.
Yeah.
And look, they did themselves credit. They gave us a hard game, and I think we've done exactly the same to them as what we did against Cambridge. We huffed and puffed in the first half. Second half, we wore them down, and we just had players to come on and players that could really do damage. And I would help if Chappers put the penalty away, but it is what it is. We got 3 points at the end of the season. We'll look back, and if we're second and we're 2 points clear of third, we will look at that game and say, well, do you know what? How important was that win?
Absolutely, it's a really important win, Crunch. You've just said it in the pre-intro, the second intro, if you like, that when you look back in May, and I said the same on Twitter, you won't think of this game, but this is what a successful season looks like. This is what Wigan did last year. They went away at places, didn't play well, had something go in their favour, but took 3 points away.
I think if you break the 3 games down, guys, that we've played over the last week, Portsmouth, we've beaten a top team, which we couldn't do, right? So that one's out of the way.
Correct.
Then we played Cambridge, who made it difficult. They sat in, and you were there, Mike, and it was pretty ugly, wasn't it?
I weren't pretty, no, but it was because the way Cambridge set up.
Yeah, they done their job, but then we managed to figure that puzzle out. The subs come on, and we got the 3 points. And then you go to yesterday. We're 1-0 down at half time. Let's see how we react to that. Because good teams, Mike, will go and win these sort of games when your back's against the wall. You haven't played well in the first half. You're losing, and you have to come out that second half and show a reaction and get the job done. And we did, didn't we? And we've proved that for the second time, Martin. We've managed to win 3 on the bounce. Last time it was 4. So this is how you get promotion, when you stack them wins up. And when you have that bad result, which we had at Plymouth, and we probably shouldn't have lost there, but we did, we've showed a good reaction, Mike, by winning 3 games. And then you've got Lincoln next Saturday. Hopefully that'll be another 3 points. You just don't on that, don't you?
Well, the thing is, it's just that mentality which we've all been saying for so long, and look, I get pelters on Twitter because of sometimes I get ratty. I get like yesterday. I was like, how the hell are we losing to the bottom side, Morecambe? They look like, to be honest, they look more like where we were, and we look more like where they were. That's how it was, and that's how I saw the game. Although my stream wasn't exactly brilliant, it's still watchable as such. But but like you say, that we've got the 3 points. We've dug ourselves out of a hole and got 3 points.
We did, and for the first time this season, Mike, would you agree? We actually were all sat at home in our holiday cottages in the south of France or wherever you may have been watching it from, Mike, thinking, please get to half time 1-0 down. Just get to half time, because I felt it a couple of times listening in. It could have been, it could have been 2. It could have been really uphill, even more so than it was. We weren't at the races in that first 45 at all.
41 minutes before we had our first proper shot on target.
That says it all.
A shot off target or on target for 41 minutes in that first half. That said everything you need to know about how Morecambe set up. They set up to man mark, and they did a really good job of it. And they nicked one on there. They nicked a really good free kick. We should have, like I said, should have been defended. But but then, as McKenna says after the game, they could do that another 9 times, and they probably won't score it unless Adams comes out and says, "Yeah, we worked on that." It was probably, just fell for them right. It fell for them true, and they got their goal to start off with. The big talking point in the first half, I guess, Mike, from with everybody, was Wolfenden out, Keogh in. How did you see his overall 90? Because 45 minutes in, you were ready to put him in. Look, Keogh's been a great servant to the game. There's no two ways about it, but it just feels like a journeyman's season, really. Someone that's 36 plus, and look, he had a good season with Blackpool, but he was a year younger. Now he's a year older, and it's just look.
I've got a quiz question for you, Mike, and everyone in the chat. Right, Richard Keogh, 36, is the oldest player to play for Town since 2007, when this player, Colin, you can't answer because you know the answer. When this player played for Town, 2007, he was 37. What was that player's name?
Mark Fish?
Nope.
Ivan Campo?
Nope.
Ivor Ingemarson?
Nope. Lewis Robertson is correct.
Fabian Vilnius
was 37.
Oh, well, he didn't play like Fabian Vilnius yesterday, Mike, did he?
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't. No. It was a strange call by McKenna, and I'd love to know. I wanted to know why he pulled Wolfie out, because it didn't make no sense to me. Yeah, it was a strange decision. And it was kind of, there was times when Keogh was just out of position, and, it's all about opinions. And like Matt said there, Matt said he thought he did fair, did well to be fair. Well, yeah, but Wolfie does better than just okay, doesn't he?
I thought he grew into the game for the first 45. Rich, I thought if I'm being critical, he looked every minute of his age. He didn't look at the races, looked rusty, but he grew into the game in the second half. Certainly showed leadership, communication, and marshalled the troops really well. It's just a case of this is a player that's really rusty, and we had to get him minutes somewhere, and maybe we felt Morecambe away was the best location.
I thought Richard Keogh was absolutely outstanding yesterday.
Talk to me about it. Why? What do you
Apart
say?
from, he had a couple of times in the first half, he nearly got caught in possession. But other than that, I thought he had a really good game. You know?
Yeah.
I know, look, the pass back to Walton, it wasn't that bad a pass. It was poor. Christian Walton should just clear it. You know, he's trying to play a pass into the middle of the pitch, into danger. That's how we play, Martin. So that is how we play. But these players, they're not robots, Mike. You know, Luke Wolfenden, they can't play every single game. And if you look at the squad now, Martin, there's only three players.
Turn that to the squad of 81 and 78 and 79 and 82.
All has changed, Mike, since then.
No. The grass is easier. The grass is easier. It's like a bowling green out there.
I've heard that
you
one
ain't
before.
got ploughed fields, right? You ain't got ploughed fields and mud pitches. Okay, you've got 5 subs to bring on. I don't subscribe to this. Oh, we can't do this.
Well,
we can't play that. We can't. Rubbish. The game is for mamby-pambies compared to what it was like in the 70s and 80s.
What I would say, Mike,
get back in the real world. Get back in 2022.
No, that is the real world, Cruncher.
Can I just say, our ITK, Callie Bisler, who's obviously got his, hand in the dressing room, says Wooly was rested, had a back strain last few weeks since the Plymouth game. So on that basis,
good enough reason.
Absolutely spot on. It really is. But I also felt, Rich, yesterday showed why you had to play Richard Keogh in a game or two, because you got Edmondson, who will come to in a second. But if he goes down, or Wolfie goes down with a back strain for a few more weeks, you've got a rusty centre half here. You need to get him minutes in a competitive situation to bring him up to speed, right?
Yeah. Look, he knows how to manage himself. He's played over 700 games, and I thought he'd done well. I don't think he plays next Saturday. I think Wolfenden comes back in. I was going to say, before Mike rudely interrupted me and let me have my say, we've only got 3 players now, Mike, who have played every single game. You've got Christian Walton, you've got JD, and you've got Sam Morsey. So if you think everyone is going to play 46 games in 2022, that ain't happening. That doesn't happen nowadays. We're not in the 80s now. The football, I agree in there. It's quicker nowadays. It is.
Mm. It really is, yeah.
People are fitter than they used to.
Okay, so the football's quicker, yeah, but I'll tell you something now. I'd rather play on the pitches that they are today, right? Running around on the pitch today is a lot easier than it is running around on a ploughed field. But that's the reason why it's quicker. That was the reason why the European teams did so well in the 90s and in the 60s and the 70s. And you had the odd time we had the odd like English club do well. Their pitches were so much better.
But pitches are better. Okay, that's great. Fine. We'll have that argument. I accept it.
It weren't great yesterday. It looked green. It weren't that great.
We also understand more about the human body now in terms of a sports arena and what it does and how much sleep you need, what nutrition you need. When Arsene Wenger arrived at Arsenal, for example, the culture was in the pub.
Ketchup. Couldn't even have ketchup.
This is it. So with the European teams, of course they were ahead of us because they were already doing the nutritional side of it, the sports science of it. These days, if a player, I believe, this is an opinion, of course, I believe if a player arrives having had 4 hours sleep, the sports science department look at it and go, is he going to be at the top of his game? I don't know the ins and outs of the sports science and what they actually truly look at, but you get that sort of opinion from an outsider looking in. But I think we're talking about it. Keogh played. That's that. You both have different opinions. What about George Edmondson, before I drop a link to bring other people into the conversation? Scored the goal. I had Keogh anytime goal scorer, and Keogh's right behind the fridge, so I'm really upset he didn't leave it to Keogh, but that's just a personal gripe. How did you see the Fridge's opinion game today? Yesterday, sorry, Rich.
He's man of the match for me.
Oh,
he come in for a bit. I think he's had a bit of unfair criticism. I see people criticising him on Twitter for standing up, Mike, in the huddle, and I mean, what the fuck is that all about?
Who? Don't say who. It's fine.
I don't know who it's from, but they were talking nonsense. They were talking nonsense.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Nonsense, Mike. Someone standing up. They're reading. Exactly. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. I thought he read the game well. Obviously scored the goal. He's got to get his shooting stats up because on FIFA they're not that high, Mike. So nice to see him score a goal. Another goal from a set piece. First goal from a centre half this season, which we need. We need them all to score, don't we?
Yeah, I was. Funny enough, I was talking to a town fan who came in. She comes in and stuff, and I was talking to her. We were saying we do need our centre backs to score more goals. Look, I'm not saying Keogh was woeful, but first half he was all over the shop. Got better in the second half, but there was still passes that went astray, and there was still decisions that that really, as a centre half with his experience, shouldn't be making and shouldn't be doing. But it's all about opinions, and at the end of the day, is for me, that's what we got the Mickey Mouse Cup games for.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is. We've got a great comment from Kevin Keats, story at the back, mostly positive. A couple of lapses that nearly cost us, but great through ball for Edwards, who then won the first penalty. He scored our first goal as well with a great finish. Jason Clayton Keogh was brought in for character and experience, and he could play the odd game. Another Ashton McKenna masterclass. Cali, first league goal from centre-half crunch. Burgess scored against Northampton in the Cup.
So I think Fridge has scored in the Cup as well, hasn't he?
I think he has. Callie says, question, when Burgess comes back and now Fridge getting back to his best, where does Burgess fit, or does he stay on the bench, Mike?
Well, then, if Wolfie's carrying injury or carrying a bit of what's name, there's your two central defenders, aren't they? They're your two that you'd sort of rest one, bring one in. Burgess, for me, plays... Look, he's going to come back from an injury. He's not going to come straight back into the team, is he? Because he's coming back from an injury. And psychologically, he may not be it's a facial injury. So psychologically, it may not be a body, leg injury or foot, calf or strain or tear or, medial ligament damage or whatever. It's a facial injury, but he's still going to come back with a bit of psychological side of it. Like, Christ, I took that in the face quite hard, So look, he doesn't come straight back into the team. But I think he gets fed in. And if Wolfie is injured, Edmondson drops in that role. Because I've said it many times, Edmondson is probably better in Wolfie's role than playing out on that left-hand side. But, again, let's be realistic here. Edmondson has got better and better. And I'll agree, he was man of the match for me yesterday.
Okay. Rich, for you, before I bring in other people?
Yeah, Wolf, look, Burgess played really well, didn't he, Mike? Look, that's just football. You're getting injuries. Burgess is not going to be back for a few weeks anyway. I know he's back on the grass. He'll have to have a mask on as well, because that was a... The thing is, though, you say psychological, Mike. He walked off the fucking pitch. He's got a knee literally in the face. He just strolls off. You think, Jesus Christ. He had a worse injury than some people have had in a bloody car accident.
No, but what I'm saying is, I know what you're saying. Look, it's a facial injury. He put my teeth back in. Facial injury, and it's sometimes they can feel, like I said, it's not career defining, was it?
Yeah, get that first head, Mike. Get that first elbow, and then he'll be fine because he'll take one. Yeah. But look, I think we're lucky, Martin, that we've got Richard Keogh, we've got Edmondson, we've got Wolfie, we've got Burgess to come back in. So. Yeah. But we're going to have a lot of games. Luckily we got a week off this week, which is good because we can all have a rest. Played Saturday, Tuesday, but then obviously we play Lincoln at home. Then we've got Cambridge in the Pizza Cup. Mike, are you actually going to Cambridge? It is on a Tuesday night.
When is it?
18th of October, Tuesday week.
Yeah, if I get a ticket.
Get down there. And then look, we got Port Vale on a Tuesday. We've got Charlton. The games are coming thick and fast, mate. So you're going to need everybody fit. We'll pick you up injuries along the way.
Yeah.
And whoever gets injured, someone steps in because that's the squads we got.
Absolutely. Right, I'm going to drop a link now for you guys and girls at home to have your say on your platform. Going to limit it to 3 or 4 people, depending on time. Don't want to go over an hour if we can help it today. But before, if you don't get on today, of course, you can more than welcome to come on tomorrow's Talking Town Extra Time. So the link's now in the chat. While you click that link, for the guys and girls at home who perhaps don't want to get involved, there is currently an awful lot of people watching us on YouTube alone, 152 people. Well, I need you to do that little thumbs up button there. Look, 32 likes at the moment, 33 now, 34 if I click it. But hit the like button. Look at that. That's a bit of a freaky screen, isn't it? But hit the like button. I know. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the join button if you also want to support the platform.
Get on there.
I know. It's lovely.
Did you know what today is as well?
Sunday.
Last day to vote for the FCAs. And another thing, Talking Town have now, I did message you this morning, Martin, you didn't reply, which isn't a shock. Talking Town have now reached over 1 million views.
We did that a couple of weeks ago. I just didn't say anything.
No, we didn't, because I've been keeping count on it.
Well, it says on my counter, you reached this milestone 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, there you go. Blow your trumpet. Come on, blow your own trumpet.
Well, it's our trumpet. But yeah, vote in the FCAs. Head to Twitter, their website, Instagram. Do all of that you need to do. In fact, just do it. Just vote for an Ipswich Town podcast, the club, Sam Morsey, because I know there's a short list of 10, right, Crunch? 10? Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's 8.
8, even fewer. And I don't think there's 2 podcasts from the same football club on that list. So we're splitting the vote. So I don't think either of us have got a cats and elves chance, if I'm honest, because we're splitting that vote. The fan base obviously are voting for who they like. Other fan bases perhaps are voting for one just to see if their one can win. So if you don't do anything, just do this. Vote for a town podcast just to get one of us up there. I think one of us deserves to be certainly inside the top 3.
Can they vote for both?
They certainly can if they want to, but I know some people don't want to. But you just vote. Just vote. Just all I'm going to ask you to do, just vote for something, somebody. Because, I think both of us deserve to be up there, but I don't think either of us will be because I think it's splitting the vote. But,
we made it till the final 8.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I know, not bad for a little platform that gets no views, according to some. Nick Starling loved the friendly banter with Ripley. Absolutely class. Heard Colin having a word with him from the stands. That's not like Colin, is it? Really? Not
Nick,
like him at all.
Nick, Colin tells me the flapjacks were excellent. Now you've set the standard. Now Saturday we'll be at the statue. Martin, what time?
We'll be there from 1:30. I mean, there's flapjacks. I'll be there from any time.
Bring flapjacks to the statue, please, Nick.
I'd say if you start bringing brownies, the normal kind before Cali starts, I'll be there. I'll be at any away game. You
won't be at an away game. Don't.
I'll do anything for a brownie.
3 years over before you get your ass to an away game.
I'd do anything for a brownie. 3 in a row. Welcome in, Philip. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Enjoying my Sunday afternoon.
He's wearing his chessboard again.
He is. Knight to L3. How are you, Philip?
I'm good, man.
2-1 win. What's your thought? What's your feeling? Let's break it down.
Well, I only listened to the second half on the radio because I was actually in the theatre Saturday afternoon. But I'm glad I listened to the second half because I got the good half rather than the crap half.
That's very true. Who stood out for you then?
Well, Emerson took his goal very well, according to the highlights I watched last night. And listening to the second half, listening to the guys, commentate on the subs that came up. I'm glad that he didn't take Edwards off because I've heard a few people saying that he's not.
Sorry, Phil. Carl Brooks didn't realise we had special guests on today, Phil Mitchell and Minty.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Love you, mate. Love you, Carl. Great. 5 out of 5.
It's which one's which?
I'm Minty. There's no two ways about it. I've been called Minty. I've been called Ross Kemp. Everything.
I'll be Grant. Mike could be Phil.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Phil and Grant. Caden Jackson started up front yesterday. Phil, were you surprised? Did you feel he played okay?
No, I wasn't surprised because, like Rich has just mentioned about the rotation of the squad, 3 games in a week is a bit much, especially, when we really need to perform close to our best to claim all 3 points. So, no, not really surprised. And as I just mentioned, I'm just glad that, he stuck with Edwards for the 90 because listening to the radio that I don't know what it was like in the first half, but to me, certainly in the second half, grew to me that Edwards seemed to get better when he was on the ball.
Caden Jackson up front for you, Mike. How did you see his performance? Because I know you obviously criticised him in the past. How did you feel he played yesterday?
Should have buried that yesterday, shouldn't he?
Potentially, probably, yes. Actually,
look, he's played well, but again, yesterday it was headless chicken. Him and Chaplin. Chaplin for me is a bigger disappointment recently. He's just running around like a headless chicken, and poor penalty took yesterday. Yeah, a bit disappointed. Disappointed in Jackson because I thought, oh, maybe he's turned a corner, but it was back to square one again. Headers chicken moments, and you know. But there we are. Look. I don't want to be too negative on the players because we the decision to take off Chaplin was the right one for Harness. So look, these boys will bounce back. They'll do all right. I mean, Chappers has scored. Like Kevin Keats has said there, Chaplin's passing again has gone wayward. He's trying all these little tricks, flicks, and Hollywood passes, and it's just not coming off again. It just needs to go back to. Sorry,
I disagree with that. If you want a safe number 10, then wait till Shawnee Aluke comes back.
No,
Chaplin is your creator. He will split the lines. He will split the defense.
What did he create yesterday? He couldn't even create.
You're criticising him for trying to create something. You're saying, he
weren't creating anything. He was just trying all these different Hollywood passes. Dude, this is League One, not bloody the Premier League. Come on, Martin. He weren't good at all. He weren't good against Cambridge. He's not played well. Look, he scored some goals. Yeah, whoopie do. Great and all that. Love it. But he was poor yesterday.
The penalty was poor. The penalty was
poor yesterday. He was terrible. And that substitution to take him off that penalty. I mean, come on.
It was bad. I ain't gonna defend the penalty at all. No,
my God, I could have saved that.
Crunch with your number 10. You do want those type of passing. He is your creative outlet. He's going to try and thread the ball, and that's going to come off. And sometimes it's not going to come off. You can't criticise the player.
I don't think he had it. Look, I don't think he had his best game yesterday, but he wasn't the only one. I think that the game yesterday, it was the forward players for us. I thought they all struggled, Martin. I thought John Jules struggled. I thought Caden Jackson struggled. It wasn't really their sort of game. I don't think.
No.
And then look, he made the subs, and that's what we've got in the locker. We can change up at 60, 65 minutes, and next week Harness will be back in. Ladapo probably be back in. But look, we're in League One. Chaplin's has been nominated, Mike, twice now for the Player of the Month in the league, and he won it in August. He's in again for September. Look, and he's had a couple of quiet games, but I'm sure next Saturday when we play Lincoln, he'll back on the goal.
This is not a let's berate Chappers and stuff. It's not. It just frustrates me because there is a player there in him, and when he's playing well, and he stops all these Hollywood passes and stops these little, tricks and stuff like that, and just do if you can't do the basics right, the Hollywoods are not coming off, are they? Let's be honest with you. That's the bottom line, and his basics are not doing right. He's giving the ball away too much. We've said this many times. He's better when he's in the box, but yeah, look, he'll come good. I'm sure of it, but he's just got to calm down a bit. But Edwards again yesterday. Edwards wasn't. I didn't think Edwards again. I thought people said Burns didn't have a good game against Cambridge. Well, he would have done if he had given the ball more. And I think that was the case with Edwards. Edwards wasn't giving the ball a lot in that first half. Okay. He wasn't giving it enough. There was times when he was in good loads of space, and Norman Greenwald, yeah, all right. Yeah, well.
That's not. Anyone
called Norman is enough to sort of.
Anyone listening on audio, that was a message from Norman Greenwood, and he said Fisherman sounds like a football manager from the 1950s.
Yeah.
If you agree, leave a 5-star review. Philip, before I let you go and bring in Colin, and then we'll end with Kevin Keats. Philip, from what you've heard, seen, etc., your player of the match yesterday, please. Edwards, all right. I love that. I'll take it. We'll take it. Phil, as always, enjoy your chess game, and we'll speak to you soon. Colin, is he there?
Hello, Gov.
Yeah, Colin. Hello. Before you start, yeah. Peterborough a tin pot, mate.
Tim Pot.
We've got a Peterborough fan who comments on the shows now, doesn't he, Martin, on YouTube? I think his name's David.
He commented on your comment saying that you're talking about their tin pot, but you've not really beaten us in recent years, and got no
Well,
right to
so
say
what?
it.
They're still
Yeah,
two-
but Gav, where there's a question, there's always an answer, right? He's talking to the goat, right? They beat us 7-1. Have they ever beaten Man United 6-0? Have they beat West Brom 7-0? Have they beat Southampton 7-0? Have they beat Arsenal in the cup final? The answer to that is no. All in the top flight. End of story.
Right, on to
Tim
yesterday.
Pot.
You were in the.
Into
You were
bed, didn't
in.
they?
No, yeah, you put that to bed quite nicely. So you're in the obviously terraces yesterday. You welcomed the team bus. You're famous
First of
on
all,
Twitter.
Gav, I'd just like to say, rest in peace, John Duncan. Rich done a really great chat there about that, and well done to him. I'm not going to go on about. I'm just going to underline by saying, my sincere condolences go to his family and his dear friends. And Rich is right. I watched him play with Spurs. I remember him wearing 10, that lovely lily white shirt they used to wear years ago. No, I remember it. No sponsors on the front, just that cockerel. Number 10 in black on the back, black shorts, white socks, playing up front, probably with Chiv, Perryman, that kind of side, and Jennings in goal. And rest in peace, John. Good luck.
Here. Well said, Colin. As always, well said. And on yesterday, obviously 3 points. Cruncher obviously said at the start of the show. We can dedicate that to John. How did you see the 90 plus away at Morecambe?
I mean, obviously, first half. I mean, is what it was, is what it is, and always going to be. We thought it'd be, including myself, we all thought it'd be a little bit easier, and it actually turned out to be. But they did what they did well for a certain amount of time. Like the boys just said, like Mike Rich said, like Cambridge, contained us for a while. Got the goal, decent goal, got to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, like everybody said, second half we upped it. And we got a deserved win in the end, But like I said earlier in the chat, Gav, when we look at that program or the results or statistics of the 22-23 season, in however many years' time, that will say Morecambe 1, Ipswich 2, 3 points. Whether we thought we were going to win 5-0, 3-0, 4-0, 7-1 or whatever, it's still 3 points. And I'll tell you what, I said to Mike this morning, we had a great chat this morning, mate. And the thing is, we had a good day yesterday, really. In the end, it didn't look like that at half time, but I'll tell you what, in the end, I mean, Bolton lost, Pompey drew, and apart from obviously the Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday results, Barnsley lost at home to Exeter. And Rich said quite rightly this morning when we had a chat, I'll tell you what, and I was talking to Ox yesterday, that Exeter away game, I'll tell you what, that is not going to be an easy. I'll tell you what, they're doing really, really well at the moment. And like Ox said, because he gets quite a bit of information from his friends and that, and a lot of the talk at the moment, they're playing some really good stuff. That'll be a good test. And I'll tell you another one. I'll tell you another one of you. Sorry?
You know why Exeter are flying? They've got Martin's favourite player, Raheem the Dream.
Well, there you go. But I mean, Rich. But Gav, I mean, Rich, Mike, they've had some great results, and they've scored a lot of goals this season. And but I'll tell you what we said.
Did you see yesterday, Colin? The lad who scored. Stansfield was the name who scored the 2 goals, and he was the one he signed on loan from Fulham, and his dad played for Exeter, and his dad passed away at 31. He's gone there on loan, and he's got the number 9 shirt that his dad wore. So really nice story yesterday. He got both goals, and they won 2-0 away at Barnsley, which wasn't that great because it fucked my accumulator up.
It did. But Harper is playing. Actually, I've just looked. Harper is actually playing in the Exeter team. Fucking no, I didn't know that. Look at that. I'm happy now. Look at that, my boy. Told you, player of the year, just off the town.
I'll tell you what though, Gav, what we said, didn't we? You know, Rich was asking the question, quite rightly so, pre the Portsmouth game, you know, about what will we get, and he put it on the Twitter and stuff like Rich does. What will we get out of the 21? And I forecast the 19. And I said the other day, you know, I think I might go for the 21. But I'll tell you what. Like I say, that Port Vale game, a great result again yesterday they've had. I think that's the only. Do you know what? I'm really thinking more so in the Derby game now. That could be just a little banana skin where we don't get the 19 or the 21. Look, confidence must be absolutely flying through that dressing room at the moment. Look. Was there eyebrows raised when we first heard the lineup yesterday? Yes, there was, if we're honest. I said just before we got off the coach, I said, I thought Burns would start yesterday. I thought Ladapo after the Cambridge game would start yesterday. You know, and none of those players played yesterday. So, you know, we was a bit shocked, but, you know, we have played 3 hard games in a week, and Kieran, I said to Rich this morning, I saw him getting off that coach yesterday, and I absolutely love it when he gets off the coach. He's upright, you know. It's like as if I'm going to war, and he's got his briefcase, you know, and he looks the part. He's so professional, and the club is so professional at the moment. And Plymouth will. We keep saying it, but they will do. Still 33 games to go. Plymouth will get injuries. Plymouth will get suspensions. So as will Sheffield Wednesday. We are number 1. Peterborough, listen to me. We're number 1. We're the ones you've got to catch. You're miles behind already. We tried to do it last year. It's so difficult. That's not me just saying it. It's fact. It's so difficult. What are they, Mike?
Timbot, mate.
We love that.
Colin, got a couple of questions before I bring in Kevin. First one is from Procrastinating Womble. He asks Mr. Plum, are your rolls really ham and pickle? Where is the cheese?
I do like cheese, but I they stick in your teeth a little bit. I do prefer the ham and pickle. And
when you get to your age, are they real or are they false ones?
Hey. What was I going to say? What's the second question, Gav?
Player of the match yesterday. Who really stood out amongst the 11?
Well, I must admit, I thought Keogh had a good. I know Mike didn't, but I thought Keogh had a good game. I think he was probably just about maybe edged by Fridge yesterday. I thought Fridge played well. Morsey had a really good game yesterday as well. I mean, Morsey. He's, you know, that's a wonder he don't wear number 8, really. He's always an 8 out of 10 for me, or 7 or 8 out of 10 for me, Morsey. We all know that. But I think Fridge edged it yesterday, but Keogh done okay. He done okay. Yeah.
Colin, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on and sharing your
wearing
thoughts.
Them shorts. Keep wearing them shorts.
Hey, Rich. Away from home, played 6, 1-5, drew 1, lost 0. Come on, the boys.
Come on, the boys. Mike, you mentioned Morsey there before I bring Kevin in. How did you see Captain's performance yesterday? 8 out of 10, Colin called it.
First half, second half, very good. Yeah, it was. It just. Thing is with Morsey, he does have quiet games. I'm not saying he has bad games because he doesn't. He just have quiet games where there's not, you know, where you don't really doesn't really stand out, but he does the simple things right. You know, you kind of them kind of games. But yeah, second half yesterday was another outstanding performance, and I will say that he was close as my man of the match. I wouldn't say it was close between Keogh and Fridge. I've got to be honest. That's Colin's opinion. I respect that. You know, he knows that anyway. And yeah, I agree with that comment. He is too slow. You know, for me. Look, Great. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Morsey did really well. I thought he was a good 8 out of 10 yesterday. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. We'll bring Kevin in. Kevin, welcome in. Oh, he's changed his background. Look, it's not a press conference today. We're live at Portman Road. How are you, Kevin?
Yeah, good. Been able to watch a game back in full this morning. Take some notes.
What do you think?
Cruncher didn't. Sorry, is that way? Yeah, Cruncher didn't watch it this morning, did you, mate?
I'm not. No comment. Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble. Kev.
It's amazing
By
watching
the way,
it back.
Kev, was I Ulrika Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Everyone's saying it's Jet. I'm never going to put him Jet. Jet was my favourite. So watching it back, it's amazing watching the game back in full when you've got no, you've not got no feelings towards it. You know the result already, so you get to watch it being a bit more critical and stuff. Made quite a few notes and stuff. So different opinions actually from when I on the reaction show last night, if I'm honest.
We'll break it down. Tell us what is your reaction today, having watched it back? What's the notes?
The fridge was fantastic actually. The man of the match is between him and Evans, I would say. Morsey had a solid game as well. He was quite lucky to get away with a couple of yellows actually.
Should have been booked first half.
Yeah, well, twice. Yeah, he 8th minute and 32nd minute I've got down here. Yeah, I've proper gone to town on the notes, Rich. Sorry, mate.
Gary Neville down
there. Brilliant. That's what we want.
Like overall, I thought Walton, poor distribution. He didn't really have to do much else in the game. JD was a bit over the shop, I thought, defensively. Sort of bombed down the right-hand side a few times, getting forward a bit, but defensively he was a little bit shocking, I thought. Burns, final 25 minutes, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Really, really positive going forward. Same with Harness. I mean, Harness not to a degree as Burns, but he was there linking up with Burns quite well. KVY and Ladapo didn't really do a lot. That final sort of, I don't know what minute they come on actually, but they were the last set of subs, weren't they? So
how did Connor Chaplin play? Because I know we spoke midweek about Harness, Chaplin, Harness. Chaplin got the nod. Mike said he was a bit critical of Chappers. How did you see the performance today, having watched it back?
Yeah, so in defence of Mike, like for this game, he was off it. He was very poor, but he's not poor. He's a great player. He's a brilliant player. Majority of the time, you know what you're getting from him. He does try these good attacking sort of passes, moves, and whatnot. He just didn't play out. I just don't think he had the space to pull it off, if I'm honest. He was actually, so I use FOTMob for a lot of the player ratings, and he was the poorest player. He had a 6.2 out of 10. So not for me yesterday, unfortunately.
I've got a question for you, Kev. You said about struggled because the pitch was narrow.
Yeah.
You said you'd been doing some research about size of pitches.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So Ipswich's pitch in yards is 112 yards long by 82. Compare that to Morecambe's, it's 100 yards, so 12 yards shorter by 69. So a good 13 yards narrower.
Nice favourite number there.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute. I thought that the FA had made it so you can't go under. Are you joking?
Yeah, it must be a size that you have to meet. The minimum.
There's a minimum and a maximum. Yeah.
That's probably there.
It was above 70s. I thought it was in the 70s for the width.
No, I think it's 68. I think from memory of doing the referee course, I think it's 68. But I mean, it was many years ago. I wouldn't say I was referee.
And if you compare that to, so I've had a look at obviously the other away games. You got Accrington with 111, so only a yard shorter, and 72, so 10 yards sort of narrower. But very similar to Forest Green. Sheffield Wednesdays is up there. They're 3 yards longer than us, but still a little bit narrower. And then Shrewsbury. So Morecambe stands out as the smallest pitch in the league, basically.
which we may go into their tactical approach. Dave, obviously, who was the Morecambe commentator yesterday, sent me a couple of thoughts. I want to get all of your opinion on this. I'll start with you, Kev. He's considered thoughts on the game. I think we've been done out of a point, which would have been a fair result. You were terrific for 15 after the break. Your second penalty, it wasn't a foul. Defender was the ball, and the offside, of course. But you should have had a penalty in the first half. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think they were hard done by out of a point?
No, absolutely not. No. That TJJ one, I know obviously Cruncher doesn't think it was a penalty, but I've seen various footage, one of them from Alex Griffin, and the defender's all over his back and doesn't even make a attempt at the ball at all. So if it's a foul anywhere else on the pitch. So how's that not a penalty?
I agree.
Apart from that, like I've said before the match to Cruncher and that, we had a good discussion in the Discord. We carried on trying to play our football, and they're pressing. They just couldn't maintain it for more than an hour, really. So our football told in the end, really.
McKenna sort of gave the halftime credit in a way, Rich, to the players. He said he didn't really have to do much because the players knew themselves. They had to up it, had to come through it. Was it a combination of the both? Do you think it was a couple of tweaks, but also the players realising they hadn't played to their full potential in that first half?
Yeah, look, it's at the end of the day, it's like, I know Mike wasn't very happy at half time, but the game's over 95 minutes or 96 or whatever, Martin, and we didn't play that well first half. But like you said, Kev, I think they might have run out of steam a little bit more because they put a great deal of effort into that first half. And with only having 5 subs, they didn't have that, like what we've got to bring off the bench. I think probably if you do look at the game, Martin, he's not far short there saying that Morecambe probably did deserve a point. But we've played well this season in games when we should have won and we haven't. That's just football. That is just football. And getting back to the Jackson penalty, it's like they said on the commentary, because I was listening to the Morecambe commentary, when a defender goes to ground, he's given the referee a decision to make. If he stays on his feet, he doesn't give him that chance to give a penalty, does he? So, look, it swings and roundabouts. We've had some bad decisions, Martin, this season, so it's about time we got something the other way. That's how
Absolutely.
It goes. It does work itself out over the season.
We still owed a couple of us at the start of the show. Mike, what are they taught now from a young age upwards? Because I was always taught, don't dive in. If you dive in, you give the referee a decision, but also equally, if you dive in and you lose, you're out of the game. You're out of the picture. You can't then recover and get back in. Are they still taught that?
Just stand your ground, watch the ball. Do you know what I mean? Just jockey the player. Try and turn him onto his weaker foot. Just stay on your feet. Get close, but stay on your feet. Don't. If you jump in and make a tackle in the area, if you don't get the ball, that's a penalty all day long.
Yeah.
That's
or if the
how
player
it is.
skips away, you're out of the game. You can't recover.
Well, that's like I say. That's why you always try and if you a good defenders, or if you're coaching, you always try and look, when you're starting out with young kids, you just tell them to stand on their feet. I know you stay on your feet. Don't jump in with your tackles. Always watch where the ball is. That's what your target is when you're a defender, not the player. And as you grow older, you're more often than not they're playing the same. They're probably playing in the same league as other players. There's the players that play for years, so you get to know. So if you've got a right footer, you try and show him onto his left foot. If you've got left foot, you try and show him onto his right foot, just to make it harder for them. Because like I said, for me, I mean, the first one in the first half, I didn't think it was, but you've seen it from a different angle. But for me, the two that were given were penalties. You can't make a tackle in the area. If it had been outside, if it had been out in the pitch, that would probably been would have been a foul. And like you rightly say, the one in the first half, that would have probably been a foul off outside. So therefore, it's a penalty. So, well, we could argue, yes, they deserved a point, and yeah, their goal was onside. No two ways about it. I'm a fair man. The reality is we've gone away from the game with 3 points, and that's the bottom line, isn't it? And we've been owed a dodgy decision or two with some of the decisions that have been not just this season, probably last as well.
Very true. Very true. As we round up today's show, then, Rich, any final thoughts from yesterday?
What I want Kev to do is when he comes off here, can you please, you know you're great at making these little, I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you've got an app. Can you make for me, please, a 1950s football manager with Mike Brown's head on it, please?
Oh, sorry, Mike.
1950s, honestly.
No, listen.
Look, these boys on Twitter. Oh, and these boys that come on and give me hassle. Am I going to have any sleepless nights over it? No.
Look, we got the job done yesterday. We didn't play well, lads, but we've got a win. And like Colin's looking forward to Exeter already. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit, and we look at Lincoln next, don't we? We don't look 2 or 3 games down the line. Look, we can all get carried away as fans, we do. But I'm sure Kieran, when he gets in there tomorrow, and they'll do their analysis, Martin, and he'll pick it apart, and there'll be a few things that he can look at that we didn't do well in the game. But ultimately, like you say, Mike, it is about the 3 points, and we've got 30 points now from 13 games. And you look at, I think 20th, 6th place, Martin. I think they're about 11 points behind us already. So just keep churning out the results. Lincoln next Saturday, another big crowd, should be another 3 points if we do everything correctly that we should.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, sorry, Martin. The thing, I just want to add something. The thing is what I said. I've been saying for the last couple of seasons. Yeah, we've got this winning mentality. We've got this. Our confidence is good, which is what we like to see. And although we didn't particularly perform, we haven't performed particularly great against what we call teams that have parked the bus. But the reality is, we've got results from them. And the reverse psychology is teams are now coming to playing Ipswich, and they're setting up to stifle us rather than us setting up to stifle them or to go past them. They're doing all the homework on us rather than us doing the homework on these teams. We shouldn't fear anyone in this league.
What did I say to you yesterday?
You know what? I wouldn't fear with this current play, the way that we're on our day, we shouldn't fear anyone in the Championship either.
What did I say to you, Martin, yesterday? I said to you yesterday, and I said it at the start of the season, Martin and Kev. The only team that will beat Ipswich Town this season
is ourselves.
Will be ourselves. We are better than every single team in this division. That isn't being arrogant. That's a fact. And the only team will beat us will be ourselves. Like at Plymouth, Mike, when we shouldn't have lost that game. We got a little bit too clever with the subs. Yesterday, Kieran, he changed 5, probably too many if you look at it, but we got away with it. We've got the result. So it's just on to the next game.
Okay, Kevin, any final thoughts?
Not with the game itself, but just with yesterday's results as far as like ex-Ipswich influences. So you got to give like Connor Wickham a shout, putting a goal against Bolton, which
That's
obviously are trying.
Forest Green, Kev, yesterday.
Massive for them, yeah, massive. Ellis Harrison scored an equaliser from the penalty spot and assisted the second for Port Vale to beat Derby. So I know obviously he wasn't with us all that long, but Enciala, which Callie shouted out earlier, obviously assisted with Fleetwood's.
Mike's favourite.
One in 24 months, isn't it, for Enciala?
And then this one.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help but just throw a punch in there.
And then Norwood, I don't know, is he injured? Because he went off after the 38th minute for Barnsley. So I'm wondering if he's injured, which I don't think that's going to affect their chances, really, let's be honest. But
another news, water is wet.
Yeah. And then the best one of all, Troy Parrott against Norwich.
That's a great one. Have you seen their goal ruled out?
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Mate, finally, referee does the letter of the law. I love it.
Grant Henley, was he wrestling with a defender?
He wasn't even looking at the ball. So it's obstruction off the ball, whatever way you want to look at it. Normally not given, but the referee's given it. And what
a great bit of refereeing. Well done, that man.
Awesome.
Can't
wait someone buy him a pint or two.
Just one last one as well. Plymouth. what was it? Dan Scarr, sorry, got sent off straight red. He's their 90-minute week in,
You
week
see
out
that, Kev?
centre half. Yeah, that's with the arm down, isn't it?
No, he sent both of them off for the tackle.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of another one. Yeah, they've both gone in 50-50, and he sent them both off. Yeah,
I couldn't understand it. When I see that, I see it on Twitter yesterday. I think it was at half time. And I thought, he literally sent both of them off for a 50-50 tackle.
Do you think they'll overturn that?
I don't know.
Well, they got to, haven't they? Surely. Either one is wrong or the other. I mean, if they're both going for the ball, it's a 50-50. I can't see how he can send both off. That to me is
John Cole
that's a referee trying to make a name for himself.
Sorry?
John Cole want to be crying.
He will. Bless him. Never mind.
One of the biggest whiners in League One.
Oh, bless him. Bless him. Kevin, we appreciate you coming on. Thanks for watching the game again for us, and have a great Sunday.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Look after yourself. So, last day to vote on the FCAs. I have put into the chat and I put into the comments in the YouTube section that you can vote for us via their website. Their link is right here, thefootballcontentawards.com/voting. You can vote on Twitter by clicking this link, which would set up the tweet for you. Of course, just put Talking Town in there. Click that link so you can vote via the website, via Twitter, and via Instagram. You can do all three. We ask you to do it. You can do it for both podcasts that are representing Ipswich Town. Don't forget also the club are nominated, and Sam Morsey for Best Footballer in League One. And we all know he is, without a shadow of a doubt. He should walk that award, shouldn't he, Mike? Okay. You're silent.
Who else is in the running for?
I've got no idea. I stopped looking once I saw Sam Morsey's name. I was like, there's no point looking at it.
Isn't Bannon in there?
Oh, Banner's not better than Sam Morsey.
What's a goal yesterday? Have you seen his goal, Mike?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, what a goal that is!
But Bannon is probably, Bannon's up there, mate. He ran that game against us.
He ain't better than our captain, though. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh no, Morsey's our captain. We're going to support Morsey, and I've voted for him. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I do rate Bannon as well. I'm not going to lie.
Good man. We've got 82 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you've got value out of today's show. Hit the join button on YouTube or head to our Kofi, become a Talking Town Fifth Standard. Get access to the Discord that everybody keeps talking about. It is the place to be. But this is the Sunday podcast done and dusted. Back tomorrow at 8:30. Crunch, you happy for me to hit the outro? Have you had a good one?
I'm off out for Sunday dinner. So
where are you going?
It's where my missus, she went the other week somewhere near Peterborough, so she's booked it. 3:30. We're in for a roast. Happy days. Bring on Lincoln. Bring on Lincoln. Another 3 points. We might see Teddy Bishop doing nothing again, Mike, strolling around Portman Road. But that's
surely he's injured by
that's now. If he's fit, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. And Mark Kennedy, former Town player. He's now manager at Lincoln.
Kennedy. Back tomorrow at 8:30. Vicky and Lewis joining me. Until then, with love, with care. That's the Fisherman standing in for the Phillips. 5-star. I mean, this guy's better already. And this is the Cruncher.
Yeah, the song goes. We're on our way. We're on our way.